Good morning, Baltimore. Santa, tell me if you're really there, 'cause I can't fall in love again if you won't be here next year. Hi guys, happy Vlogmas Day 1. We're back. Now, you're probably like, Alicia, you said you were gonna upload every day for the month of September. What happened? My bad, guys. School got really hectic and I almost failed. There are a couple things about me. Number one, I will always prioritize my health. Health comes first, internet comes like third. Sorry. Number two, this year has been hectic. I went blind for 2 months, and so obviously as a photographer, you need your eyes. So I fell really behind on coursework. It was only a 1-year course. It was a 1-year full-time course. So I had so much work to catch up on it and I just needed to get it done. So I had to like pause everything else in my life to just get that done. So apologies for disappearing. I know it's not good. But we're back. I'm doing Vlogmas this year. I don't know yet if it's going to be 12 or 24 days. I know that's bad. And I know I really wanted to do the 24 days. And if I've got some exciting news, and if this news didn't happen, I would have done the 24 days. Your girl's going on tour. So as mentioned, I'm a photographer. I'm a concert photographer / live music performance photographer, whatever you want to call it. My dream has always been to be a touring photographer. I want to travel the world and I want to take photos for bands and artists all across the world. I want to capture them. Like that's my dream. That's all I've ever wanted as a photographer. And I got invited to go on a tour by my very good friend Lara, who I'm her photographer. I've been a photographer since I met her. And so it's an opportunity I can't pass up because it is so vital and so important to my career and it means so much to me, and I'm so grateful that she even asked me to come. But it does mean that I'm gone for a big chunk of December. So I leave on the 5th and I come back on the 16th or 17th, somewhere around there. And obviously, when I'm on tour, I'm going to be working. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have that I can dedicate to vlogging and Vlogmas, which, while I love Vlogmas and I can't wait to be back blogging and content creating now that I've done with school, it's also this opportunity is really important to me. Regardless, today is the 27th of November, which in America is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here, but I am having a Friendsgiving later tonight. I'll explain that later. But yes, as you can tell, it is not December yet. I am starting to film Vlogmas before December so that I have a backlog of a few videos so that I can post while I'm on tour. Hopefully that works out. So today's day, I think I'm going to split up into 3 videos. This is the first video. We're going to be doing my makeup routine. Then I'm going to do like a little vloggy vlog situation. I've got some errands to run, so you'll come with me while I run some errands. And then tonight I'm having a dinner party and I'm going to vlog that. And that's going to be its own separate video because it's going to be really funny, I can already tell. But yeah, I will be vlogging part of the tour. So there'll be like a travel / tour vlog, I think. We'll see how it goes. I'm kind of just like taking each day as it goes. I'm a little bit stressed, but it's fine, it's fine. In saying that, if you guys have any ideas or things you want to see this Vlogmas, let me know down in the comment section. But for now, I feel like we should do my makeup so that I can get on with my day, because it is already 11 a.m. Oh my gosh, it's almost 11:11. Should we wait? I wish for you at 11:11. There's a reason I take photos of the singers and I'm not a singer. Anyways, let me brush my teeth before I start my makeup because otherwise I'm gonna wreck my makeup afterwards. Also, yes, I went to go connect my microphone to my camera and my microphone was dead. Just my luck. So it's on charge while I vlog. My favorite thing about the internet is that everything is fake. So many people comment on my videos, oh my god, Alicia, your skin is so clear, it's so gorgeous, it's so beautiful. I'm like, It's not, but thanks anyways. I don't know if you can tell on camera, like the amount of texture and breakouts that I have. You can. This is my real skin. I am not naturally airbrushed. I don't have naturally perfect skin. Spoiler alert, I know, I'm sorry, I'm a catfish. However, I have just become really good at makeup. Or at least my base and covering my acne. Not that you should feel the need to cover your acne. You know what, half the time I go out barefaced because I've learnt that acne isn't that big of a deal. Because when I think about it, when you're walking down the street and you see someone with acne, you don't stand there and go, ew, they've got acne. You don't even like really give it a second thought. It's just like, yeah, that's their skin. That's their real skin. You know what I mean? I just keep getting asked for my makeup routine, so I thought I'd show you guys. So starting off, I use some concealer. And this is like close to my skin shade-ish, kind of. It's not like a highlighting concealer is what I mean. And I like put it on after I put on moisturizer. I used to use primer and then I ran out and I never restocked. And I just like cover my acne and my blemishes and mascara in. I have had like I had severe acne when I was younger. I want to say I was like 12 to 14. I had pretty severe acne, but I was a growing teenager, so makes sense. I did go on Accutane when I was younger because not only did I have like acne on my face, I had acne on my chest, and I still get acne on my chest and on my back. But my acne on my back, my backne, was so unbearably painful that there were nights where I couldn't even lie down to go to sleep. I would have to sleep either sitting up, like hunched over a pillow so that my back wasn't touching anything, or I wouldn't sleep at all. Thankfully, I'm not at that stage anymore. They do want me to do a second round of Accutane. I just haven't started yet. I don't know if I can be bothered. Anyways, I don't blend in the first bit of concealer. I just go straight over the top of the foundation. But yeah, I've had acne since I was a kid. It's kind of been persistent since I was a kid. It did clear up for a little bit, but there are some triggers I've noticed that trigger my acne really bad. Number one being summer. I don't know, some people during summer, like their skin gets super clear and they glow and they're radiant. I'm the complete opposite. Like my skin becomes dull, it breaks out horrendously, and it becomes dry a lot of the time. I find a lot of people get those side effects in winter when the weather like cools down and the air becomes dry, but I get it in summer. I don't know why, just always has. Number two being stress, which explains this breakout because I graduated last week, but leading up to the graduation, I swear, I'm being so for real with you when I say, literally the day of my graduation, I was still like signing off work and like UACs, which is our units. On the day of my graduation, I almost didn't graduate. It was actually wild. And I'm noticing that my foundation looks very orange on camera. It does not look like that in real life. I swear, I promise. But yeah, like this past week has been stressful. I feel a lot more relaxed now. Last week, as I already mentioned, I graduated. I also went for my driver's license twice. I failed the first time. I'm a good driver. I swear I failed for the silliest reason. Not my fault. And I was also starting the first stop of my friend Lara's tour as a photographer. So like a lot was going on, and I think that's what led to this breakout, that I was just like stressed and my hormones are being wild. I also had my period last week, so it might also be that. Anyways, let's talk about my driving test. But before we do that, let me put on some contour. I use a stick now because it's what was on special, but I used to use like, it was like a Charlotte Tilbury dupe ripoff, which was like the liquid. Now I use the cream stick and I blend it in. But yeah, so if you have been watching my channel for a while, you'll probably remember the grieving my own health video. In that video was filmed like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. Basically how driving works in Australia is when you turn 16, or not in Australia, in Victoria, where I'm from. When you turn 16, you can get your learner's permit, which is where you can drive with a parent or a supervising driver in the car and that's how you learn how to drive safely. And then you have to be on your L's until you're 18. And when you turn 18, you're then allowed to go for your license. You also have to complete 120 hours of learner driving, which seems like a lot, but over 2 years is not that much. And so it gets to about 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. And I'm so excited and so ready to go for my driving test, because for the longest time, all I ever wanted was to drive. To me, that was my ticket to freedom. It was an escape. I'm not gonna get into like the nitty gritty, but like, let me just say, it was really important to me to get my license. So I was ready. I had like, I think 10 or 20 hours to complete before I could go for my test. But I had completed the majority of my hours. I was so ready to get my license. 2 weeks before my 18th birthday, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. You know the thing that makes you have seizures? Yeah, I was diagnosed with that. Of course I was, because that's just my luck. I already have complications with getting my license, being a type 1 diabetic. You have to go through like medical review, and you have to get things signed off by medical professionals and doctors and all the rest of it. I was cleared for my diabetes, but because I was diagnosed with epilepsy, I had to be 6 months seizure free before I could drive again. I talked about this and I don't actually know. When I made the Grieving My Health video, I didn't know what my condition was. We didn't find out until a month or two later that it was epilepsy. It could have been a brain tumor. I'm very thankful and very grateful it was not a brain tumor. But it could have been like a bunch of different things. It could have been a brain tumor, a brain virus. It could have been epilepsy. We just didn't know what it was. Anyways, I got diagnosed with epilepsy. I then was like, okay, I've just got to be 6 months seizure free, right? I didn't get seizure free until like June. My birthday's in March. So I didn't get, it took a few months to like work out my medication. I was still having seizures for a little while, which was terrifying, but then we got it under control. Lovely, gorgeous, right? The 6 month seizure free rolls around. Actually, I must have had my last seizure before June, because I was 6 months seizure free in November of last year. So basically, I get 6 months seizure free. I go and I see my neurologist. He's like, yep, you're good to drive. Are you on your P plates or your license, or are you on your learners? And I'm like, oh, I'm on my learners, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, yep, you should be good to drive. I go, awesome, cool. I'm sitting there thinking, that means I can go for my learning test or my driver's test, right? Come to find out, when I try to book my test, they're like, you can't book it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why can't I book it? I'm allowed to drive now. Why can't I book it? I call up Vic Roads and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to book in my P's test, but it's not letting me. They're like, let me have a look. I can't even make this up. It's so ridiculous. Basically, my license got suspended. Kind of makes sense, because you're like, yeah, it got suspended because you needed to be seizure free, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like, you would think, yeah, it makes sense. The thing with, if I was on my full license or if I was on my probational license, my Ps, I would have been able to drive straight away. The thing with your learner's test is if you get your, or with your learner's permit, I should say, is if you get your learner's permit suspended, you then have to wait a full year, a full 365 days from when it's reinstated to be able to go for your test. No one told me this. And so I had waited patiently for my 6 month seizure free to be able to drive again. I was so excited to be able to go for my test, and then I get told, yeah, you have to actually wait a year. Sorry, what? What do you mean I have to wait a year? I was heartbroken. I was actually really distraught over this, because again, it was like it was my one ticket to freedom. And so like everyone in my life knew that I was really upset about this. I had bought a car at this point. I had spent all this money on a car that then just had to sit in my driveway for 12 months because I couldn't drive it. I tried to like take it up with Vic Roads and be like, guys, this is kind of dog. What the flip? And they're like, yeah, no, well, your license has been suspended, so we can't do anything. And I was like, okay, great. So I book my test in for the 18th of November, which is the 1 year to the very date of when I could go for my license, because my license was reinstated on the 18th of November last year. So this year on the 18th of November would be 365 days since I last got whatever. I was going for my license. I had driving lessons to like re-jog my memory and like get me into the best shape as a driver that I possibly could be in. It comes to the day of my driving test. I don't usually go low with my blood sugar. Usually I sit a little bit higher. I'm not usually low. We're doing the lesson before my test, and what happens? My blood sugar drops. It never does that. And I'm just like, oh, and I woke up that morning with like a bad feeling in my stomach, and I was thinking, do I go today? Because I just have this bad feeling. I'm like, no, it's just nerves. I should go. I should do this. I've wanted this for like 2 years, more than that, my whole life. I've got to go. Anyways, we fixed my blood sugar. My blood sugar is not a problem anymore. We then go into like the Vic Roads facility to do my test, obviously. And we get the number 13 on our little waiting ticket. Look, some people, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you probably think like 13's good luck, but like 13's stereotypically like bad luck. And I was like, you've actually got to be kidding me. We get called up to the desk. We're going through all my checks and everything. It's looking all good. My assessor, so the guy that like will either give me my license or fail me, he's very softly spoken. He's speaking like this. And you have to listen to your assessor because they go, turn left at the end of the street, turn right. Like, you have to listen. They're the ones telling you what to do. And I'm just thinking to myself, my hearing is not the best. I should probably get that checked, actually. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, like, I'm stressed now because I'm not going to be able to hear him. Let me just look in on my eyeliner real quick. So once we've done all the stuff we need to do inside, got everything checked off, all good, we go out to my instructor's car because everyone had convinced me to take the test in my instructor's car. Originally, I was going to do it in my car, but they were like, no, do it in your instructor's car. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it in my instructor's car. My instructor has like a 2023, 2024 Suzuki Swift. If you know anything about them, the gear stick, it just goes up and down. It doesn't like go through the gears. In every single one of my driving lessons, I had accidentally gone into low gear at some point because it is so easy to accidentally go into low gear. On my test, I'm sitting in the car, I do all the pre-check things, it's good. I'm so stressed because this is so important to me, number one. Number two, I'm scared I'm not going to be able to hear the guy in the back because I can't hear him properly because he was very softly spoken, which is not his fault, but I was just nervous. And, you know, tests can be scary. So basically there's a lot going on in my head before the test and like as I'm starting the test. So the guy gets in the car. And he's like, when you're ready, start the car and take off. I accidentally put the car in low gear. And I took off in low gear. And it gets, we're not going at a speed fast enough that being in low gear would matter. We get 90 seconds in. I don't even think it was 90 seconds in. I think it was less than that. And my instructor, not the assessor, my instructor goes, I have to stop the test. Which means I instantly fail. She's like, you took off in low gear. And the assessor in the back goes, yeah, I was giving her, because then she turns around to the assessor and goes, did you notice that? And I'm just like, dog, what? Like, being in low gear would not have affected me. I would have changed it quite soon because I would have realized. The assessor goes, yeah, I was giving her a chance to like recognize and fix it. My instructor didn't give me the chance. And I'm like, oh. So we get back to the parking lot. The drive, like my assessor like switches with me, we get back to the parking lot and I'm sitting in the car and I'm like holding back tears because this is all I've wanted for so long and I've waited so long. And I go, when can I go again? Do I have to like wait a certain amount of weeks? And she goes, no, you can go again today if they had spots available, but they don't. The earliest they had spots available was December 15th and I'm not even in Melbourne. And I'm like, I need my license. Like, I need my license. And like, going for your license at this time of the year is the busiest time of the year and it's really hard to get booked in. So we book it in for the 15th. I really want it before then. Obviously, I wanted it on the 18th of November, not the 15th of December. So I get out of my instructor's car, I go to my mum's car. Look, the driving test is meant to take half an hour. I was gone for all of 5 minutes. So my mum instantly knows something's wrong. And like, I knew she would know something was wrong if I got back in the car. So I get in the car, I get in the passenger seat, I just put my hand up, like just go, don't say a word. Because if she said anything, I would have just burst out crying. I'm like, don't say a word. And I sit there and she turns around and she's like, what happened? And I just look at her and I just start crying. And I told her what happened and she goes, that's bullshit. You shouldn't have failed for that. Everyone I spoke to was like, I can't believe you got failed for that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So we go home, I'm like crying the whole way home. And we get home and I'm just so determined to get my license. I would do anything. I look up on the Vic Roads website and it says Carlton may have like a spot available, like someone's cancelled or something today. So we just drive straight out to Carlton just to see, because we couldn't book it online because it wasn't showing anything, but it said they might have availability. So we drive all the way out to Carlton and they're like, oh, you've missed the slot by like 5 minutes. And I'm like, you're joking. You're joking. And I was like, okay, so when's the next test here? Because there was nothing at the other location that I went to. And they were like, the earliest we could get you in here is the 20th of December, which again, even later than 15th, it's not gonna work. It's not going to work. I'm just sitting there and I'm sighing. And I'm like, what, like I'm listing all the Vic Roads locations I could think of in my head. I'm like, what about Essendon? What about this place? What about that place? And she's just like, yeah, no, there's nothing earlier. And I was like, I just mentioned another location that popped into my head and she looked, she's like, let me see. She goes, oh, actually someone's cancelled and there is an appointment at 11:20 or 11:40, whatever time it was, on Thursday. And I go, I'll take it. I had so much coursework I needed to get done. I graduated on Friday. I had so much coursework I needed to get done. I should not have gone on Thursday, but I went on Thursday. And I thought I failed my test then too. Basically, they make you do either a reverse parallel park or a 3-point turn in the first part of your test, and then they like add up the points and see if you've got enough points to continue to the second part. I failed my 3-point turn. I got 3-point turn and I failed. To be fair, my assessor took me down the narrowest street I have ever seen. And he was just like, don't even worry about that. That was a really bad road to tell you to do it down. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I could see that you were confident in doing it though, and that you, like, if I was to ask you again, I know you would probably do it, so don't even stress. And I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Luck was on my side. And then at the very end of my test, I'm coming up to these traffic lights and I come up and they turn yellow and I go through the yellow light and I'm like, yeah, I failed. I just failed just then. He goes, did you think you failed at that yellow light? Because when we got to the parking lot, he's like, yeah, you passed, you're good. I'm like, I passed? And he's like, yeah, you're a really good driver. I don't know why, there was like no reason for me to fail you. I don't know why they failed you the first time. And I was like, he goes, did you think you failed at the yellow light? And I was like, yeah, I thought I failed at the yellow light. And he just said to me, it would have been more unsafe for you to like abruptly slam on your brakes. So honestly, if you had slammed on your brake instead of going through the yellow light, I would have failed you. And I was like, oh, okay, works for me, works for me. Because I need you to know these are the lights. When I put my thumb up is when the light goes yellow. This is me driving. It goes, and I go through. If I had stopped, I would have been like, but we're good, we got my license, I'm on the roads, beware, nom. Alicia's on the roads. Also, I don't know why the lighting is making my foundation look so orange, because it doesn't look like that. It doesn't, I swear. Also, I apologize, I feel like I yapped that whole time while I was doing my makeup instead of like giving you a makeup routine. But you can kind of see what I was doing, the order I do it in, I guess. If you want another one, let me know, I'll refilm it and do like an actual proper beauty guru influencer. So this is my product. This is exactly the technique I use. Now look, usually I would put on fake eyelashes, like little mini ones, but I don't think I've got any eyelash glue. Like little mini eyelashes because I like my eyes to look. But yeah, I don't know where my eyelash glue is. I need to buy some while I'm out today. And usually I put like a light eyeshadow on the inner like part of my eye, but I forgot to do that. Yeah, good enough for me. Look, Hello, how do I not have a powder puff? Hello? I found one, we're good. Also, I posted a video the other day and someone was like, I love that lipstick shade you're wearing, like that lipstick shade is your shade. And I'm like, thank you so much, it's actually just like my natural lip color. And someone else in the comments is like, you're lying. No way. So I've got Clear Micellar Water, Q-tip. I'm just proving this because I'm taking it off anyways and I can show you. I don't know what to tell you. That's my natural lip colour. Sometimes I'll put a gloss on. Today I'm going to put a little bit of my lipstick on. Makeup! I'm going to quickly do my hair off camera because I need to figure out what I'm doing with it. And then, yeah. Okay, I did my hair. My bangs are so overgrown. I overtoned my hair last night. So if you think it looks purple, it is purple. We don't judge. I'll wash my hair and it'll be gone in like 4 days. But yeah, thanks for watching this video and getting ready with me and chatting with me, or letting me rant, really. That's what I was doing. I'm gonna go get dressed and then I've got a few errands to run. So yeah, I will see you later on today. You will see me tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for being patient with me and sticking around while I've been having a pretty tough year. I love you all the most and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye.